We've got our guest on the line from Tel Aviv, Dan Perry. He's an international affairs analyst. Dan, thank you for coming onto the show. As we know, Russia is threatening the West. What is this saying about Russia's position in this war, and how likely is the use of nuclear weapons as well?
Oh, I think it would be irresponsible to make predictions. What I can note is that the Soviet Union, with the arguable exception of the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962, never even hinted at the use of nuclear weapons. So great was the shared fear of what was then called mutual shared destruction, that the current regime in Moscow is making these threats is a reflection of how irresponsible it is, perhaps also how desperate it is, and how truly dangerous is the current moment. It's the classic question of who wins the argument, the crazy person or the smart person. Russia is betting that it's the crazy person, and it's extremely tempting to say call their bluff, and that Russia needs to be taught a lesson, extremely. But on the other hand, we're gambling with the future of the world. Remember, the rules of Russia don't really have to consider public opinion at home the way governments do in the West. And in the balance hangs essentially the entire post-World War II order.
And also, Dan, as we just heard earlier from Guterres, he was visiting Kiev, and he and the Russian strikes went off in the capital as he was there. What kind of message is Russia trying to send, do you think?
Russia is obviously doubling down. This is in a way in line with the threat of using nuclear weapons. We need to weigh the dangers of appeasing a criminal regime with creating another Chamberlain moment, and I do not discount the danger of that. If the West wants to do that, if the West wants to give Putin a way to climb down, a reasonable path forward might involve a guarantee that Ukraine does not join NATO, an open door remains to its joining the EU, and perhaps a genuinely free referendum on whether certain Ukrainian regions that are Russian-speaking, mainly in the Donbass area, are transferred to Russia. But obviously Russia's actions today reflect, as I say, a doubling down.
And also, Dan, just finally, U.S. military aid to Ukraine is unprecedented. But in your opinion, how significant is the Lend-Lease legislation?
It greatly eases the supply of weapons to Ukraine, and this may be critical. You know, there's an argument that says that Russia has the numbers, but not the motivation and not the weaponry, which is in certain respects antiquated. Ukraine has the advantage of motivation. Via Western aid, they may gain the decisive advantage of technology as well.
We really appreciate your time, Dan. Thank you for joining us. Dan Perry, their international affairs analyst and former Europe editor at the Associated Press. Thank you very much.